All right, it's the last day of the year. No mercy! If I see my nemesis, I'm gonna give her the cart with the bad wheel. And I'm gonna use all the hand sanitizer.
There's an old curiosity shop. Every once in a while I go by there for the fond recollections that lie there in that old curiosity shop.
Okay, I'm kidding. I will not use all the hand sanitizer, but I am giving her the cart with the bad wheel. That always happens to me. I get the wonky wheel, clunk, 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 clunk. You try to sneak down the Pyrex aisle. Everybody in the whole store knows where you are. Well, it is the last day. Woo! Now you're not going to watch this until New Year's Eve. This is New Year's Eve morning. Yes, I'm outsourcing. It's raining here and gloomy in the Northeast. It's melting some of the rest of that nasty, parking lot snow. Anyway, I'm going to film all day today and release it tonight. Give you something to watch on New Year's Eve in case you get bored. I know there are other live shows and all kinds of things, but I've taken a few days off, but I'm back. This is it, the last one of the year. Now, I've already crossed the bridge. I'm in Jersey, getting ready to go into one of my favorite thrift shops, and I'm feeling lucky today. Now remember, I love the 1920s, 30s, and 40s. I just don't buy and resell anything. I love antiques and collectibles. Art Deco is one of my favorite styles, and just really anything mostly from the Depression era. But as you know, in case you're new to the channel, I also like to reach into the 60s and 70s. Anything that has really good design and I would consider iconic to a certain era. So that's what I'm going to be looking for. And I already see... Are they letting you in? It's 8:49. Why are they letting you in and it isn't even 9 o'clock yet? Look at me sitting here running my mouth. Let's go. Wow, now look at these. A matching pair of decorative Ewers. I know I'm not saying that right. Ewers. And these are probably going to date to, 1900 to 1920, just right around the turn of the century, maybe just after. They're very inexpensively made. These are not valuable pieces. The store is asking $14 each. And it's all just cast metal here. This is metal, and this is just spray painted, painted in the factory. And so, again, they're decorative. These could be on either side of a mantle if it was big enough. They could be on a buffet in someone's big dining room. And there may or may not have been a bowl in the middle. But again, these are mass-produced. They could even be late Victorian. I'll let you see the bottoms there. I do see a mark on the bottom which says B&H. Now, off the top of my brain, I can't tell you who B&H is.
We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
Well, of course. B&H, you big dummy. It's a case of that, I'm talking and I'm filming, and sometimes the brain doesn't always catch up with all the things going on at once. Driving down the road about 10 minutes later, bingo, Bradley and Hubbard, of course. Now, Bradley and Hubbard is mostly known for their wonderful slag glass lamps, but they made all sorts of things out of metal. Good heavens, I think bookends, maybe even metal picture frames, all sorts of things out of metal, but mostly slag glass lamps. Bradley and Hubbard. Now that's a very well-known name and very well respected, just like Jennings Brothers. And I think Bradley and Hubbard was one of those companies in Connecticut. There were several of them there that made lamps. I think that's where Bradley and Hubbard was located, but I don't recall that for certain. But B&H, Bradley and Hubbard. Now, while I'm salivating over these Ewers, I didn't notice what you guys noticed immediately, the damage. Okay, I'm going to talk a little bit more about those Ewers when we get back in the video, but B&H is Bradley and Hubbard. mostly known for lamps, good company. And hey, the picture that you're looking at, by the way, is a typical quote-unquote sort of colonial revival living room, typical of the 1920s. Listen, I know the decorating trend these days is gray, 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 a little bit of black and white, gray, gray, gray. Well, boo-hoo-hoo. Give me all of the color of the 1920s. I love it. Isn't that living room and a peek into the dining room just beautiful? And notice in the 20s, all the strange juxtapositions of the furniture, throw rugs on top of other carpets. You don't have matchy-matchy. I could move into that house right now. Couldn't you? Hey, I love it. Okay, let's get back to the video. Bradley and Hubbard. It's nice to find a pair. That's something that you don't normally find with these. Or the metal is broken off, but at $15 each, $30, yeah, that's $30 for the pair. So they are very decorative. I may give those a second thought. All right, back here in the lamp department. Sometimes I score pretty well in the lamp department, and you have to pardon me if I'm shouting. I'm actually speaking through my mask, and I have the camera right up at my face, because I don't really want to do a voiceover. The music isn't terribly loud in here today. So we're seeing a lot of looks like Golden Girls lamps down here on the bottom, and a mixture of things from the 1980s and 90s. But I'm not spying anything that I would like to purchase. Ooh, 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 look there. There's a nice Dragonfly piano lamp. Too bad it's made in China and not in Connecticut around 1910. Okay. No lamps, no lamps, no lamps. All right, there's a lot of folks in here today. Now this store does not carry much furniture. In fact, they're pretty wimpy in the furniture department, as you can see. Slim pickings. Very slim. It's a 1930s end table there, which you probably can't see. There we go. Put a little light on it. Some hubcaps up there. Big teddy bear. Some floor lamps. There's the endless wall of bags down there, which I seldom have the patience to go through, but there can be treasures. Just like over here in the appliance department. Remember, this is where I found an electric mixer that sold for almost $200 and a vintage 60s frying pan that sold for over $100. So keep your eyes peeled for vintage kitchen appliances, but remember, condition, condition, condition. The ones that I bought, well, as you know, the Happy New Year! Okay. The frying pan that I bought was brand new, so, had never been used from the 60s. And the 1950s mixer was immaculate. The television set department. Electronics, CDs. What am I trying to say? Oh, excuse me. Yeah, nothing there. All right, let's get into the dishes. I'll come back and look at the CDs later. I won't do that on camera, but I do always check out the music and the DVD department. Here we go, pots and pans. Here we go, here we go, loop-de-loo. That's it. Here we go, loop-de-loo. There's a cookie jar that's lost some of its red paint. Okay, there's its lid. Spin it around. Okay, isn't that an American bisque bottom, everybody? I don't remember. They're not marked on the bottom, but if my memory serves, that's the typical bottom on an American bisque cookie jar. I'm not terribly attracted to brown wood grain pottery. $6. There don't appear to be any chips on it, except for the red paint loss. I think I'll look that up, but I'm not in any mad rush to pick that up. I don't know. It didn't speak too loudly. Well, $3 isn't bad for a refrigerator dish in Pyrex. By the way, I changed my mind. I'm going to tell you later why I changed my mind. I guess I wasn't thinking when I put them back. It's really hard to find a pair of these. And we'll talk more about those when we get in the car or the house. And I'm also... one I haven't seen before. What does that say? Hildy? H-I-L-D. Hildy. Okay. I don't know this piece. I don't know that pattern. I guess it's anchor hocking. Is it hocking under there? Kind of looks like it. Hildy. You guys know this? Boy, I'm finding some things today I haven't seen before. Pots and pans over there. Alright, now I'm getting to where I'm almost underneath the loudspeaker, so I'm either going to have to really run my mouth or jump out of here and do a voiceover. What are these down here? Oh, this reminds me of Daisy and Pineapple. Is that an Indiana pattern? I think so. That might be Daisy and Pineapple grill plates in crystal. I kind of like it in the amber. I've never seen it in the grill plates before. Pretty little creamer there. I was having all kinds of issues with my camera not wanting to focus today, going in and out of focus. So if you are sitting there, no, don't worry, you don't have frosted lenses. It's just my camera. Now this anniversary stuff, I bought and sold a few pieces of it. I usually steer clear of it. Here's a nice little milk pitcher, and I immediately thought of the Thin Rib by Hazel Atlas. I was looking on the inside to see if it was marked Hazel Atlas, which this piece isn't. I've seen the Thin Rib Hazel Atlas milk pitchers in Fired On colors, so I'm not really certain. I was a little thrown off because those are usually marked HA for Hazel Atlas. So I don't know who made that. That would be cute if it were mid-century, but it wasn't. I'm doing a little bit of a voiceover. This is cute, the bunny. Hey everybody, it's probably New Year's Eve when you're watching this. Now I recorded this earlier in the day. This was nice too. Mother makes a happy what? Happy, I don't know what it said. Happy home. It was new, though. But anyway, I'm going to be out for dinner, but literally out because we cannot eat in restaurants in Philly. So I will be outside. Look at this. Isn't this pretty? And it's Crooksville. The teacup is not marked, but I think the saucers, or either the saucer or the bread plate was. Very colorful pattern, which is going to date probably to the 1930s. There we can see American-made Crooksville pottery. See, there's my camera out of focus again. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, I'm going to have a New Year's Eve dinner outside, and we have a fantastic fireworks display over the Art Museum, the famous Philadelphia Art Museum. Yes, the one that Rocky ran up the steps in the film back in the 80s. You remember that. So it's cold and rainy here. Hopefully the fireworks should still go off without any problem. So listen, whether you're out watching fireworks or you're just home wrapped up in your snuggie in your Barca-lounger, I'm so glad you're watching, and I wish everybody a happy New Year's Eve. This is a Homer Laughlin gravy boat. It seems like, oh, I only go out for New Year's Eve maybe once every 5 years. All the other times, I'm usually in bed at 10 o'clock, honestly. Drat. Well, they're back on the shelf because I did another examination, and what I didn't see when I was filming with all my excitement, and you saw it and you were screaming at me, is the damage. Notice how the handle comes all the way down, and over here it is broken. These are made of pot metal, which does expand and it breaks. So, yes, you could fabricate something. Yes, you could still put the two together even with the broken piece, but I'm not over the top. Well, upon closer examination of the ewers, I said, ooh, because you saw there was a big piece of missing handle. That's what happens with those quite often. They are made of pot metal or spelter, which is a very cheap, unstable metal. It can expand and crack and just crumble. You could have just picked one of those up by the handle and snapped off the decorative metal that you saw that was missing. And that's pretty typical, again, as I said, of anything made out of spelter. Sometimes clock cases, lots of lamps, figural lamps were made of spelter, bookends, even parts to radios and phonographs. And some spelter is better than others. Some of it holds up okay, and some of it is peanut brittle. It just crumbles. Now, I know some may say, oh, but you should have gotten it anyway. You could have repaired it. Well, you can. You could have made a mold out of epoxy from the good piece and fashioned the rest of the handle. And I suppose if I didn't already have a million projects on the workbench at home, I might have done it. But I have to make decisions about that. I wasn't over the top about the two, and with the damage, I decided to leave them there. Okay, that's all right. Gloomy day, but I'm filled with excitement. I'm off now to get some breakfast, and then I will head to another thrift shop, and after that, I don't know what. But we'll find out together. I hope you're having a wonderful morning. Thank you for spending time with me as we say so long 2020. We all know what kind of year it's been. I'm not going to review it because we all just went through it. But we are going to say so long and farewell to 2020 together. And I don't think anybody is too upset about it. Let's go get some breakfast. What a beautiful chair. And I need to hurry up before that dude comes out with that vacuum cleaner. Yeah, this is the spot. Let me get this mask off my nose. There's nobody around me. Beautiful, probably late Victorian, 1890, maybe all the way up to about 1915, you know, right around the turn of the century. It's mahogany. Isn't that a gorgeous chair? My camera seems to want to be going in and out of focus quite a bit. Let's just take a closer look at the side. Boy, that is beautiful. See the old springs on the bottom and the burlap? Now, this can all be redone. I've redone chairs like this before, and it's not that difficult. I actually enjoy it. This would be a great project. There is some damage. There are some issues here. This just looks like something decorative, a decorative molding that's applied to the outside. So it definitely needs work. Look how beautiful the casters are. And I like that upholstery as well. Boy, that's a pretty chair. Very pretty chair. And then a little 1920s orphaned dining room chair. A 1930s, 40s shield back dining room chair. That one has me tempted. How much is it, you ask? It is 20 bucks. 20 bucks. Now, I don't need it. I don't personally need it. I don't personally have anywhere to use it. And as I'm not selling in a brick and mortar shop at the moment, it's probably going to stay here. But I just had to show you. So pretty. Okay, let's play a game. Those of you who think you know me, take a look at that end cap. What do you think I'm going to grab? Study the top, the first and the second shelf. Study this shelf and this shelf. What do you think I'm going to pick up? Now, I'm going to pick up something. Is it going to be this creamer? No. How about this 1960s, 70s? Oop. Maybe it's going to be the Raggedy Ann and Andy. Home ceramic? No. Yes, you got it. It's Anchor Hocking Vitrock. Doesn't have a great deal of value, but I love it because it's got the wonderful spring birds in a dogwood. Is it a dogwood tree? Dogwood or magnolia? One or the other. And it's wonderful. Mid-century. And it looks like somebody tried to pick the sticker off. It's $3. This is one that I don't see as much. I see the one in red quite often. I usually don't see the milk glass Vitrock piece. And the blue is just wonderful for spring. So this one is definitely... I'm attracted to it. I'm going to resell it. That's coming home. $3. I love it. All right, all right, all right. It's voiceover time again. I'm still in Jersey, up Route 130. And look at these, the carts. I mean, the racks that you see. That's the new stuff. I'm trying to find a place to park my cart, which I have just figured out how to do. But there wasn't anything on the fresh carts that came out. The fresh racks, you know, the fresh stuff that they wheel out. But look at this. Now you see I'm about to dig. You'll notice I'm moving things. And what's underneath? Wow. You know, I saw the green at first. And then obviously this is old. A great big huge serving platter. Now I didn't know until I turned it upside down that it's Czechoslovakian, and this thing is really pretty. It's in very nice condition. We can see they're made in Czechoslovakia. This is probably made before the Second World War. In the early to mid 30s, before the invasion, I set the thing down. That thing would be an absolute beast to ship. I had to think quite a bit about it because I really am attracted to it. But again, I try not to make purchases based upon emotion. Yeah, so I put it down, covered it up so nobody could see it. That way I could think about it. And I keep shopping. This is amethyst glass, as you can see, the purple color. The price tag had fallen off and I wasn't really in the mood to get them to put a price on it for me. Lots of clear glass. Now, of course, just reminding you, this is New Year's Eve morning. It's about noon by this time. I've already had my breakfast. This piece is still here. You remember we saw this a couple weeks ago with the wonky knob on the top. Actually, that's the way it was made. I still like it. Now, I had high hopes because it looked like there were many new things on the shelves. Well, I don't want to give it away, you know, the excitement. I know it's not a murder mystery, but I don't actually end up finding anything. Salem, what did you step on? I'm sorry. I'm doing a little voiceover here, and the cat. So there is a piece of lusterware. I'm going to, as I said, be going out a little bit later, and I have just given Salem his New Year's Eve treat, which is turkey pudding, or chicken pudding. And he is just licking his lips. He's had 2 of them. He may end up vomiting at about 3 o'clock in the morning, but it's New Year's Eve. Now, I love the shape on this little teapot, I guess. And there's more than one company that made those teapots in that shape. Hull, Hull, made a lot of them. But there were others as well. I don't know. I just didn't buy it. You know, actually, it was just nice to be out today. I had not been out in a couple of days. I was kind of, I don't know. I don't want to say I had the blues for a couple of days, but really didn't get out and about. And I just had the energy today and the umption and the gumption, and it didn't matter whether I bought anything or not. I was just happy to have my health and to be blessed enough to go out and share the day with you. So whether I found anything or not didn't really make a difference. I just had a really great time searching around for things. So, you know, if anybody is feeling gloomy or feeling down, just remember it's always darkest just before the sunrise, and there's always sunshine after the rain. Okay, so 2021, come on, I'm ready for you. Goodbye 2020. That's what I have to say. Lots of mugs. You can see this store isn't, well, I don't want to say that it's not well organized, but they just toss everything. Yeah, there's an old Starbucks mug. I didn't buy that. That one's pretty common. I sometimes do buy and sell those mugs. Some of them can sell for quite a bit, especially the ones that are from the different cities. Peachtree, what was that? I was sitting here talking and didn't even see what that was. So I'm headed back down this long aisle to see what's what. And there's one of those sort of crackly glass pitchers, but in that color, we're not talking the Depression era. These, I think, were made by Federal, and there's uranium in those. They will actually glow under a black light, that milk glass thing you just saw me. Well, that was a lot of fun. Didn't you love that big Czechoslovakian platter? The thing was huge. I liked the colors on it as well. It would be a beast to ship. Way oversized. We're talking a box 2020. And I don't need the platter, so I did leave it there. But I bought something, and you didn't see it when I was picking through the shelves. So I'd like to show you now. Oh, by the way, there may be a voiceover because the music is always loud in that store. I bought this for $3.49. Now, this is definitely a kitchen piece from the 1930s. Some of these things were reproduced in the 80s, 90s. I think they're even still making them. They're reproducing some of the Anchor Hocking glass jars with the screw-on lids. This one is unmarked. It might be Hocking. I'm not certain. They did make a lot of this sort of thing. I haven't seen this one before. it's definitely from the 1930s, and a couple of things that really make it obvious. Well, there's a Deco influence. Look at the lid. You see the 3 sections of the lines that radiate out? I love how that's also mirrored in the actual piece itself. So we have 3 sections, 1, 2, and 3. It's kind of hard for you to see it in the car. And so it's the pattern in the lid is repeated in the actual sides of the container, the glass container. There's lots of old wear on the bottom. If we get this in the sunlight, try to get it to where you can see. Let's see. You want to look at the bottom where the piece would sit on Granny's countertop. You see the scratches right in here. Now, as I've told you, you can duplicate that. Or you can try to. I think I told you once I knew a somewhat not totally honest person who would take glass and go out onto the pavement and, you know, do this with it to try to scrape. But if you look at the bottom, it's pretty obvious. We really don't even need that wear on the bottom. It's just obvious that it's sort of a 1930s piece. Now, it's crystal, which has nothing to do with lead. When we talk about crystal with depression glass, we're just referring to the color of it being clear. So it's not green or pink. It would be nice if it were green or pink, but it's pretty versatile as a piece in crystal clear glass. There's only one tiny little inner rim chip right there. Nothing consequential at all. So, very versatile piece. You could easily do a lot with that in your kitchen. Tea bags, cookies, ginger snaps. You were waiting for that, right? So, 1930s, I love it. It is going to be for sale in the old Curiosity Shop because I don't need it, but I'm going to be including that in a depression glass sale later on this year, next year, because it's not next year yet, but it almost is. All right, let's cross the bridge from Jersey back into Pennsylvania. Yes, back into Pennsylvania, and we're going to go to a few more shops. I'm so glad you're spending the day with me. Now, here's a little something I'd like to say at the end of the year. I want to thank everybody for being so kind. All of you really make doing these videos I don't just think of it as, well, I'm just putting out videos. January will be my 3rd year anniversary of the YouTube channel, and it's just been a delight. I've learned so much, and I felt so much support and kindness. You guys are wonderful. Your comments are terrific. I enjoy every one of them, and I've gotten to sort of know some of you, you know, just through your comments and correspondence that we might have exchanged. And it's just been a fantastic experience to have the YouTube channel and to be a part of this together. We all love nostalgia and collecting and old things in history, and I think that's one of the things that binds us together. So I appreciate you guys. Now, having said that, you almost never hear me say, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. It's not because I don't want you to like, comment, or subscribe, but it's just something that I have never really made it a habit to say. So just in case, if you are not a subscriber, I would love it if you view on a regular basis or even occasionally. If you would go and just make sure that you are subscribed and click the notification thing so that you know when a video comes up. That would be fantastic. I would, absolutely love it. It's not a competition, about who's got more views or who's got more subscribers. It just helps the channel grow if everyone who is watching. So that would really be fantastic if you get an opportunity to do that. Remember a couple of days ago, I slammed on the brakes and Christmas cookies came flying out from under the seat? Well, my mother had given them to me on Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and I forgot about it. Well, actually, they fell out and slid under the seat. I thought, well, maybe if I slam on the brakes, I'll get some more cookies. I slammed on the brakes, and guess what I got? Turkey Florentine with garden greens and a delicate sauce.
Put your hands in the air.
Yeah. Well, someone's going to be happy tonight. I mean, after all, it is New Year's Eve, so maybe it's a toucan night. Toucan night. What are you guys having for New Year's Eve? Okay, let me get this stuff in the house, and I still don't think this video is over.
Smile away every day, and you'll find your troubles fade.